All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in 3 categories: education, storyteller and drama, and arts. For 5 years and with over 280 weekly episodes and 64 million plus downloads, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals. It is based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age, race, ethnicity, or gender. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. We are all busy, but I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment and vote now. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all 3 of the categories: education, storyteller drama, or art.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly, Joe Fox. Hello, good to see you, buddy. I just want to thank UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 105.7 Mississippi, for allowing me to come on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. Also want to thank Carnation for sponsoring my show, too. And I have a couple of announcements here. Real quick, I want you to, after my show tonight at 9:10, Sean Patrick Haslett's song. So it's Through a Glass Darkly Radio. Please stick around after my show and watch his, because he has some really cool guests on. Yes, they are. These weeks are going by fast, buddy. Yeah, pretty soon. Well, football season's here, so it is going fast. Pretty soon it's going to be Christmas. Yay! Looking forward to Christmas. Oh, yeah, and Christmas will be part of the show tonight. Tuesday night, my friend Jennie Nicassio, who is my guest tonight, has her show, Chasing Prophecy, with Jenny and Tom. They're on Tuesday nights, 7:10 to 8:10 p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans. And I also want to give a shout out to my friends at the Coffin Bean LLC. They have some freaking amazing coffee. I'm telling you, it's really cool. You got to check them out. It's the Coffin Bean LLC. River Rose, good evening, Sean and Jenny and everyone. Good evening, Miss Rose. Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Well, I just can't wait anymore. I'm just so damn excited about having my guest tonight. This young lady, I'm telling you, she's young. She's young. She's a young, good looking, attractive. I'm telling you what. 5 years ago, she sent me a message and she asked me if I wanted to do a podcast with her. And I said, sure, not a problem. And that's how we met. And now she's a very dear friend of mine. And we're almost like brother and sister, almost, you know. But I've had a lot of times co-hosting with her on Chasing Prophecy, and unfortunately, we had to go our separate ways. And I just started doing Into the Night, and she went back to Chasing Prophecy with her co-host Tom, who's a very good person, very very good person. And their show is great. Let's see. Joe Fox says, I watch Jenny whenever I can. I like her. And Cindy Simpson says, much love, Sean, and everyone. Thank you very much. Much love to you, too. With Jenny, not only was she part of MUFON and all kinds of other stuff, investigating aliens and whatever, she also is a very, very good author. Okay. And she has some books out. And that's what I want to talk to her tonight about is the books that she has written. I know she's got a trilogy out there, but me and my ADHD and me being like old, I forget things, so I had to bring her on here. So we're going to talk to her tonight about the books she has written. And she wrote a special book around Christmas time. And I read it. And you know what? Brought me back as being a little kid again. It was really great. And without further ado, my guest tonight, my dear friend, Jennie Nicassio.
Sean, my head is so heavy, I can't hold it up. Oh, wow. It's so high, my big head now. Okay, well, thank you. That was very nice of you. Well, yeah, go back.
I'm calling it as I am. How have you been, young lady?
I'm not young, so we're the same age, Sean. I just act very immature.
No, not you. Not you.
Yeah,
well, maybe a little bit. Maybe just a tad.
I don't, can I say if you act like an old person, you're going to be. And I have grandbabies, so I have to act, immature.
Yeah, she's a grandma too.
Yeah, I'm a grandma of 4. Jenny, 8675309. Jenny, who can, I know that was my favorite song in high school.
I bet it was. Yeah. So, my dear, you have a trilogy out. But first, before we get into your books that you have written, what got you into being an author?
Oh, wow. To be honest with you, Sean, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a historical romance writer because I used to read my Aunt Myrna's trashy novels that she hid in a brown box under her bed. Yeah, my mom would get really upset because I'd go up there and she'd give them me, and I would sit up all night long. In summertime, I would stay up to the wee hours of the morning reading them, and I wanted to be a historical, and I still might try it because I did write half of one, and then I don't know, I lost it all. But yeah, I wanted to be a historical romance writer.
Okay.
Pirates and they Indians.
Okay. like especially the pirates, I can actually see you actually playing one of them pirate women,
Oh yeah,
yeah, or a sultry vampiress, or some type of alien. I mean, I can see that.
See it too.
I can see that.
I had a thing for what was his name, Captain Jack.
Yeah, who didn't, man? Who didn't? That was, I saw one of the movies, but you know what? I can only watch like one. I can't watch a trilogy.
Yeah, I like the first one. Yeah.
Hey, Michelle, good to see you, hon.
Hi, Cindy. I haven't seen you in the chat and Chasing Prophecy. I see Joe. I don't know who Michelle is. I don't think did I ever meet Michelle? I don't know.
No, you haven't met Michelle yet. She's out in Oregon, man. She's out in Oregon.
Yeah.
But no, she comes and checks out my show on both nights. And,
well, you have a good following. That's great.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the following. And it's true. But back to what I was saying, I can't watch a trilogy. The Blade trilogy. I tried watching it.
I'd seen the first one.
Oh, look at that. She's so sweet. Hello, my sweet Jenny. Love you. Hey, Cindy, I'm jealous now, honey. But so okay, where do you? Okay, let's go with the one I really like that I think that you should talk about, and it's Rocky.
Rocky, yeah. What do you want to know about Rocky? How I got that idea and what happened to
Yeah,
Rocky? Rocky
everything.
had a
Yeah.
horrible life. Well, I'll be honest with you. I was doing my hair. It was November. I believe it was 2000. Let's say it was right after my brother had passed away. I'd say 2004. I got the idea. Al Roker was bringing the Rockefeller Christmas tree in from Connecticut. It was a Norway spruce. And I'm doing my hair and I go, man, this would be a great idea for a kid's book.
Hmm.
So that's what I did. I just started to write it and I finished it. I sent it out to publishers. Nobody wanted it. So I said, I can't let this go. And that was 2007 when I finally actually self published it. And then a publisher, a small publishing house, wanted it in 2016. And I couldn't get along with the illustrator because when I told her that a publisher wanted it, she wanted money. And I didn't
Wow.
have a lot. It was supposed to be like pro bono. It was supposed to be for her. She was a high school student. And her mother was a lawyer, I believe, or her father was a lawyer. And once they found out that I was going to publish it with it was a small press, she wanted money,
Hmm.
and a lot of money. And I said, I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to pay you the money. So my friend Dina Colangelo came in and she said that she would do the illustrations. So that's how it started. And then it was with a traditional publisher with him, with Second Wind Publishing, for probably 2 years, and he never paid me.
Wow.
He just wouldn't pay me, and I kept on saying, "You owe me money." And finally, I had to get a lawyer to get my publishing rights back. I got my publishing rights back, and then we decided in 2016 to publish it ourselves, me and Dina. She was the illustrator, and I was I guess that would be the publisher author.
Right.
Do you want to hear about my nightmare?
Yeah.
Okay. So we put it on Amazon Kindle. Amazon has a big Kindle self-publishing platform, and we did that. And I sent out, she did a storyboard for me. We made a storyboard, which is illustrations telling the story. And I sent them a PDF of the story and the illustrations. I was so excited. I thought, oh, wow, Nickelodeon and Penguin are going to publish my book. Oh, okay. Well, my son's at med school not med school, at a school for an interview for med school in West Virginia, and it was December 16th. And he goes, Mom, sit down. I said, why? He said, Mom, you got to sit down. Okay. He said, Nickelodeon stole your book and made Albert, which
Are
is
you
basically
serious?
the same little tree. Yeah. It was
Oh
horrible,
my God.
Kelly. Oh, Sean, it was so horrible. So I didn't know what to do. I got the book, and they even had a movie, a little kids movie, and they took out the whole story and they made this into this really bizarre. It would have to be like preteen. See, mine was for kids like probably 3 to 6 year olds. So they warped him into this monster and monster characters. But they took big scenes of it, big sentences out of my book. The same cover. The cover was almost identical. So I got a lawyer. I found a lawyer that was in Pittsburgh, but she was also a lawyer in New York, and she knew Handel. His name was Handel, and he was a big shot in New York. And I got 2 lawyers. We sued Penguin and Viacom, who owns Nickelodeon. And let me tell you, it was a horrible, from 2016 into actually last May 2023. It went on, and I lost in Pittsburgh. I went to the 3rd District Court of Appeals. It lost and went all the way to the Supreme Court. And this is where the kicker, what happened was that Sonia Sotomayor with the other Supreme Court justice were to vote to hear my case. And 3 weeks before she voted on my case, she received $3 million from Penguin, who I was suing.
Mm.
And on the day of the hearing to hear my case, she received $10,000 from Penguin, which was a total conflict of interest. But
Wow.
yeah, so it was terrible. So I lost because I could never go and sue her again. I mean, sue them again. So my only thing to get back at them is to make Rocky great. By beating him out, beating Albert out. But that was that story. That was what a nightmare. But
Why do people? I mean, that's a pain in the ass. That's a bitch. But why are people? Why are people like that? I mean, my
because
God.
it's all about the almighty dollar. They don't care. And they figured, I'm just a nobody. I didn't have I wasn't, Stephen King or Dr. Seuss or anything like that. And they figured they could take advantage of it. But the only gratifying part was that I knew my story was good because they wanted to make a tree. They wanted a copy off of me. So
Right, exactly. Joe Fox says, Sean Show rocks. And case in point, he always has great guests. Thank you, Joe.
thank
Appreciate
you.
that. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's just what life
but
is.
when did you come up? So the whole character on Rocky was the spruce tree by Al Roker, huh?
It was a Christmas tree. Yeah, it was inspired by the Rockefeller Christmas tree, and I always love trees. You know that I
Right,
hug my
right.
trees. I have a special relationship with trees, but
Yeah, we
yeah,
know that.
that's how I believe they have healing powers. I believe if you touch a tree, you're going to get the electricity, the healing from them because they're deep rooted into the ground, and that's why people ground themselves. Like I believe in
Right.
grounding and walking on grass and everything. Yeah, and that's how I got the story. It was and all the characters and like Bruce, he was a big, tough, burly tree.
Uh,
And I have Mary Louise, the fairy. She's my sister. I got my sister who passed away. I gave her made her the
uh,
fairy. And then there was AJ the squirrel, which is my nephew.
well,
And then there was the skunk. I can't remember the skunk's name. Isn't that terrible? What is this? I don't even think I named a skunk. She was always looking in her mirror, pocket mirror, put on lipsticks, and she had big lips, and she liked to put on lipsticks, and I love lipsticks, so she's mostly my Mrs. Pickles. Oh my God, how could I forget? Mrs. Pickles was the it's the skunk. But yeah, it's a cute little story, and I took out. I like the back of the book. I wish I had a copy here right with me. I don't. It's probably down here somewhere, but I just didn't. I wasn't thinking. But I do have a picture of it. I can show you real quick what the picture of Rocky looks like. Let me see if I can share my screen,
you should
and
be able to.
it should be, but you know me, I'm not
Have you
too.
thought about coming up with like a sequel to Rocky?
I did. I started to do that, and I started, and then I quit because I get really when it comes to stories and everything, I get very upset, emotional, and depressed if it doesn't go my way. What did I do? I just had it here. And when that happened, I was very depressed. I mean, it broke my heart. You put all your heart and soul.
Right.
And why can't I pull that up?
River Rose says, yes, Jenny, I do too. I believe in the healing power of grounding and how plants and trees help with the healing. It's truly amazing how being deep in nature has so much healing power. That is
Yeah,
true.
that's
Everybody, you're looking at Rocky.
that's Rocky. He's my cute little and the illustrator is going to she's starting to do it over, like to do it more 3D. And that's what she's been up to. She's Dina Colangelo. She is the illustrator. She's a fantastic artist, and she is redoing that. I should show you what Rocky. I should show you Albert. I should show you a picture of Albert because of the tree that they copied. Because you can see the background. The cover is almost the same thing. I should probably look for that. Let me see if I can find a picture.
While you're finding him, what do you think of that, everybody? How you had a good book written by Jenny, or it could have been anybody. Jenny's a tree hugger. Yes, she is.
Yeah,
Um, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some big company comes and snatches it away.
yeah.
To me, I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah,
And
I
then
was pissed. I was
and you
very
just
pissed.
and you just throw your hands up in the air, and you're like, what the hell? Oh man, I
I tried everything I could. I took it, like I said, all the way to the Supreme Court. And when Sonia Sotomayor, she didn't recuse herself. I don't know. She might have voted not. She might have just still voted against me, but still, um, well, you don't
Miss,
know.
Michelle says that's really horrible what they did.
They did. It was
But
very horrible.
I tell people on my show, who want to get like big in the paranormal field, have their own TV shows in Bigfoot or anything cryptids. I keep telling them, I say, write a book. You have to write a book. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get your own TV show. And what do you think of that? I mean, they don't just take um, anybody's group, you know what I mean, and put it on TV. The only way your group can actually be on TV is when you pay for it. And I did back in 2012 with Raw Fear, you
Yeah.
know. So, oh, are you serious? This
Yeah.
is,
That's the
look at that.
tree that they
Oh,
pop.
Zekra. Oh,
You
come
see the
on,
how they
dude.
have the Rockefeller tree in the background. I mean, the Rockefeller Center, and there's a tree just like mine. So they pretty much the same. The little tree that had big dreams, same. Everything was the same, but the tree you can see they copied my book, and it really pissed me off. But
But you're on a wonderful show with wonderful people in my chat room. We're going to have to continue going here with the other books you wrote. But Jenny says, no, Cindy says, Jenny has another book out also. She has like three of them.
yeah, River, I had it copyrighted. And I had everything before them. I wrote the book in 2007, finalized it, had it published, and they had theirs in 2016. So, they copied off me. Yeah, they admitted it. That's what's funny when they, in 2023, when the article, if you go, you can see all the articles here. I'll pull up an article how it made, it was all over the news. Sonia, I'll put in Sonia Sotomayor, Sonia Soda. How do you spell it? Sonia. Sonia
Sonya. You don't have a
Meyer.
group, Michelle. It's just you. You're with our group, buddy. You're with our group now. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's just uh, I don't know what I don't know. I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like I am because they first of all they hurt my friend. Second of all, um, they took away from her. You don't hurt my friend. You don't steal from my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, Cindy Simpson says yes. I definitely saw it on the news.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, it was on the news. That was me. Yeah, I'll tell you my she's a she wasn't a very good person for doing that, but
But it's just so ridiculous. But all I know is when I met you, you written three books.
yeah.
River says, "Wow, Jenny, I am so sorry this happened. That is beyond horrible. Please publish your book and hit them hard where it hurts.
I'm
I will
trying.
definitely buy a copy." Well, we have to kick Jenny in the butt in order to get her going, man. Seriously, because she's a good author. She comes up with these fantastic ideas. Like I'm telling you, whenever we worked together on Chasing Prophecy at the beginning, she had these awesome ideas. And you know what? You just don't want to get on Jenny's bad side because,
No, because I don't like people taking advantage of me. That's
right,
all. Because they do. They're just people are so. Rude.
Yeah, they are rude. But so after you wrote the Rocky one, all of a sudden you got into MUFON. Tell us your experience in MUFON.
Well, I got into MUFON back in 2011 because my son Johnny, he believed that something happened in his room when he was a little kid, like when he was 6 years old. Um, and that's the he thought. Well, he was. I believe him that something happened. We don't know exactly what happened, but either it was a very bad dream or something did happen. Like a light came in the room and really messed him up because he thought that somebody was after him. And I started to write a book. I wanted to write a book about an alien. And so I did some research and then I thought, you know what? I got so into it. I went on to MUFON's website and I found out how to become a MUFON field investigator, and you had to take a test. So I took the test and I was so excited when I passed the test. So then I started to go out and do my investigating with John Ventry, because he was the director of Pennsylvania, which was really fun. And that's how I got into MUFON because I was writing a book about aliens, and I got the idea. Because I read Twilight, and I said, you know what, I probably can write just about as good as book as Stephanie Meyer's. And people always say it's a lot like Stephanie Meyer's book. We thought, you know what, she's take it as a compliment because I wanted to write a book about an alien that falls in love with a human, and basically that's what happens in the book. But you have to read the whole series because it doesn't end there. It gets a little crazy. There's three. Actually, there's going to be a fourth book in the end of. I'm going to be releasing it the end of September, October. It's already done. It's already got the cover for it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
prequel. It's a prequel to Moondust. And it's about the one scientist, Jordan Foster. He was the guardian of the six extraterrestrials. So there's a prequel to it, but that's how I got into it. And I worked as I did the field investigation thing for a while, and then there was I got into a conflict with one of the directors, and I didn't really care for him, and I just didn't like how MUFON was being run. So that's when I decided to leave.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Squats, man, good to see you, pal. Squats is a good dude, man. You ever want to talk about Bigfoots on your show? You need to get hit Squats, man.
Okay, we will definitely, because I want to. Here's the part of the article you can see in there where they mentioned me in October 2019. Children's author Jennie Nicassio petitioned the Supreme Court to hear her lawsuit against Penguin House, and that's part of the article with Sonia Sotomayor. But if you Google it, you can read all about it because it's really depressing. It's really pissed me off. So, yeah, I got screwed, literally.
Yeah, but then again, everything for me, everything happens for a reason.
Well, I'm hoping
And
there's a reason for it, Sean. I'm hoping.
I'm telling you, you're going to come out with a better book, man. And don't say you're not. You are. But I want to get back to your trilogy that you have out there now.
Here, I have a
What's the name of the first one? And can you get a synopsis? And can people get your book, your trilogy, or can they get it? The whole thing.
Yeah, you can get this on everywhere books are sold. Actually, Amazon's the best place to get it because it's cheaper. You can get it on Kindle, and actually, when was it in the March? I forget when. I was in Barnes and Noble in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, and a copy of the old book was in the bookstore, which I loved it. And so the old copy was in the bookstore, the old cover. Yeah. There's three of the books. There's From the Sky, Aurora's Curtain, Equinox, Aurora's Curtain, and the new one coming out is called Moondust, based on the Project Moondust. And the phone keeps binging. I hate when that happens because I forgot to turn it off.
Oh, I just ignore mine. So from the sky, right?
Mm.
So this alien falls in love with a human, or is it
Yeah,
you?
there's Samantha Hunter. She's 17-year-old, and she was driving in the mountains of Somerset County, Hidden Valley. She was texting and driving and was involved in a car accident. Her car went over the embankment, and her twin brother Finn was killed instantly. And while she's unconscious and in the car, two strangers come up to the car, and they're two men that they presume to be men, and they look like men. They act like men, but they're not men. They're like aliens among us. And they have Lucian was the main character, Lucian Foster, and he has healing power, so he can heal. Each one of them has a different, like power, if you want to call it. Um, some shape shift, some are just very intelligent, just can do a lot of different things. But Lucian's main thing was he could heal. So he heals her. He heals her by using some of his blood. Has to take her back to it's called the Foster Ranch. It's an underground dwelling where it looks like a model home, but when you go down, there's like an elevator. It takes them way down deep into the levels of the earth. And they gave Jordan Taylor, he's the scientist he's the guardian of the six. And they do a blood transfusion to save her using Lucian's blood
Okay.
and heals her. And
Hey,
that's
Mr. Rojo, good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show.
hello. So
He's
that's
good.
what hi. So that's what happens. So that's a
Okay.
story about them, and they go on it like it's an adventure, a lot of adventure. And
How'd you come up with that besides being a MUFON? I mean,
well, because I
um,
always had a thing for handsome looking aliens.
Val 4.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was a teenager, this is true. I was living in Penn Hills at the time, and I lived, in my bedroom, and I looked out the window, and I would stare up at the stars, and I said, I know you're out there. In my mind, it was like imaginary that my true love was from a different world, and that's how I got the idea too. Um,
Okay.
so I believe that there are, I love romance and I love science fiction. So what could better mesh them together? You got a love story with aliens. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing like a book on like witches or vampires or something like
Well,
that?
I do have a short story that's very bad and naughty, and I will not tell you my pen name. So I wrote a story about a wizard and a witch. And yeah, I like that stuff too. So he was a wizard and he had a student, and it was the woman. Her name was Isabella. But yeah, I like stuff like that. And I'm in the process. Well, I want to tell before we get on to my next, because I'm doing 2 books at a time. But I want to share this because it's happening right now on Kindle, and it's a new thing called Kindle Ville, Ville, and it's short episodes that you read. Okay, and I now have 3 uploaded now, and next week I'm going to be uploading one every day, and it's like schmidgets. It's like 700 words to a couple thousand. Mine are usually about 700 because I like fast, quick reads. But this one, I want to show the cover so you guys can go check it out and follow me because there's a contest and I can win $6,000, and I would love to have that $6,000. But I would love it. It would be nice. But I'm going to show you the title. This is one I've been working on for 2 years. I was going to try to publish it with traditional publishers, but I think it's a little controversial and not too many people want to do it. But I don't know why, because I think it's a really good story, and my friends have all said it's really good who's read it. So I want to
What
share this cover.
would I have to buy a bottle of Clorox bleach to clean my eyes after I read the story?
You might, because you wanted to be a priest at one time. So
Yeah, I was.
you may want to do that.
I was, and she's right, everybody. I was going to be a priest.
Now there's the cover on Kindle Ville. It's called Just Rewards. My mother actually put her couple cents and helped me do a scene in it. It's about Caden Quinn. Okay, She's about 40-something individual, but she had a horrible experience as a child. One is that she saw her whole family, who were missionaries in New Mexico, on a missionary trip. Her whole family was shot down by militants, and everybody was killed except her. That we think. Okay. So she ends up being taken into this is about the we say in 2018 there was the grand jury report about all the Catholic Church priests who were accused of child abuse. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And well, this is what it is. This is what gave me the idea of this, because I read the grand jury report and I was just so sickened to my core that this
Yep.
happened. And I said to myself, what if one of those victims actually got to get revenge? What if they got revenge on the priest who did them to, this horrible thing? So that's how I got the idea. So that's when I started writing it. And I started it off as a script, like a movie script, because I saw it in my mind play out like a movie. So that's when I decided, I'm going to write a novel, because I do have the script and I'm trying to sell the script. But in the meantime, I sent it out to publishers and they all these agents said, well, right now, no one wants to read that. It's a great story, but it's too gloomy and it's not uplifting. And so I said, you know what, hell with it. When I saw this Kindle Villy come out, I decided this would be perfect.
Right.
So it's on Amazon Kindle and it's episode by episode. I have 3 episodes on it. And I think, now Kaden, you can see what she looks like. She is a torn up, screwed up, because not only was she abused by her foster parents, and it sets in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it goes between Pittsburgh and Ohio. And she's in children's and youth services, and she gets hooked up with a horrible family who abuse her. So not only is she abused by her foster family, she's abused by a priest in her local, her parish that she goes to. And it's a story of how she grows up. And there's all this crazy stuff with the grand jury, and there's a priest that's going to be indicted for doing the unseen.
Mr. Wojo, I love him. He says, very interesting. I wouldn't want to mess with Jenny. LOL. I'm telling you, dude, man, you don't want to get on the bad side of her.
But so this story is really good, and it's based on truth. Now, I got a lot of the information from the grand jury report, and so I made it into a woman. The woman is Kaden Quinn, and she gets revenge on Cardinal O'Brien. He's a cardinal now, who abused her, and with not only her, but I think there's 4 different characters along with her. There's one of them is a senator, and one, but the thing is, this is what really, you guys, this is what really is cool about Kaden. You can see the priest in the background. Look how nice looking he is. Well, she has a, she's screwed up in the head, and the way for her to deal with this, she decided to, what better way to get back at priest or God is to, do the unthinkable herself. So she has relationships with priests, and this is one particular one that she's kind of keen on.
Man, this like
East of Eden.
dude,
Yeah.
Look, oh my God, I got like my spidey senses are kicking in. I'm not kidding.
It's a good story. I mean, I thought it was great. I mean, it's a great it's a thriller. There's a little bit of romance. There's a little bit of bad stuff, but
Mr. Wojo says, Jenny, I work for the Boston Globe. When the Spotlight team exposed,
okay, it's sort of like this. It's like a cross between Crash and Spotlight, and I do put that in the synopsis. It's basically a cross between the two of them, and I think it's great because it gives the victims, what if one of those victims got to get retribution on this for, I think it'd be great. That would be, I know, Stephen, that would be, but I
You know
love that.
what? He's another Bigfoot dude. If you want to get on the show, on
Yeah.
your show,
Well, seriously, because
Mr.
we have
Lojo and Richie B. Yeah,
we need to do Bigfoot. We haven't done it. The only last time I did Bigfoot was with you know who. So, do you know who, John?
that's true. The Pope covered up a lot of these bad priests. See, I agree with Jenny. I truly believe that, but Pittsburgh was hit real hard too, along with Boston and I think
Yeah.
Chicago. And there were, I really don't want to
These
get into it.
people, they're not the same. These victims will never be the same. You trusted a priest, and some of the things happened in the confessional. It's just not right. I mean, how do you go on and live when you believe that you're the priest, somebody you trusted to
You
do
know what,
something?
everybody? I'm going to be honest with you since she's opened up a can of worms here, and we got about 9 minutes left. But, you know, I used to go to church all the time. I went to a Catholic grade school, I went to a Catholic high school, and I seriously wanted to be a priest, but I didn't go. I got kicked out of the seminary. And
Why did you get kicked out, Sean? What
because
did
I
you
ran
do?
away, I couldn't deal with the Italian priests. They were mean. But it and then I tried to go back to church and I couldn't do it.
Yep.
And for me, it was like, okay, I'm sitting and the priest is doing mass, and you look up at the dude and you're like, how do I know you're not one of them
Exactly.
creeps? Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like, and people, I don't know. I really don't want. It was bad move for me, man. It was. But
Yeah.
the only time I will be honest with everybody, I worked for a bakery, and I used to deliver. And every month down at the monastery, down in the south side in Pittsburgh, they always had a birthday for all the priests born on that month. So I'd go in, and then I felt comfortable because there was nobody up
Yeah.
on the altar or nothing like that. But I felt comfortable. But you know
Yeah.
what? That was a bad time in life.
Yes.
Joe Fox says, Jenny, are you in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. I'm in the east suburbs of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man. She's a hop, skip, and a jump away
I
from me,
used to
Joe.
live close to the city, but then I moved.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah, Joe has to come in now. He has to go see my buddy Natasha up there in Butler, and then he can come down and visit us. You know what I mean? But yeah. So
I know
I
what you
don't
mean,
know.
Sean. I couldn't go to church for a long time after that. I mean, I was so sick and I cried when I watched at the end and they had all the people listed of how many children, people, adults now that were abused. And I went to Catholic school. And I
So did
remember the
I.
nuns were wicked bitches. They were
Oh yeah,
wicked.
the nuns were wicked. Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't. I mean, that brings back total nightmares for me. And everybody, you might think that's a joke, but I'm telling you what, no, it isn't. You
They were
cringe.
horrible. They were
I'm
horrible.
I'm 62 years old right now, and when I see an old time nun, man, I still get kind of crazy with it.
Yeah, I got beat. I got spanked in front of the whole school when I was in first grade.
Oh wow. Steven goes, did you bake cakes for the Patriots when they beat the Steelers? Love you too, brother. No, I didn't bake no cakes for the Patriots, but I don't know. Tom Brady left, so y'all guys can like go in the corner and pout and cry because they don't have a quarterback this year, and their
I know.
defense stinks. So there, all right.
There you go.
But I love you, man. Love you. Don't worry about it. We'll be bantering. Joe Fox says, "Me too." CCD classes here.
Yeah.
The nuns were mean ass witches, and it's true. They were. Boo.
Yeah, they were bitches. They're witches and bitches and you name it.
And never had one good one. Never. But so tell us what you got coming up, dear, with
What?
with
What?
chasing prop with chasing prop.
I don't
With,
know. We're just what we're doing is just, we had some pretty lousy guests lately. I mean, people that presumed to be somebody that they weren't. So we're trying to do like a break from like having like authors on. We're having real people on to talk about their experiences. And you guys, if you're into Bigfoot and you go on Trace and Prophecy Instant Message me so I can get your information and we'll give you a holler to see if you're willing to come on. But we have a couple interns and they've been doing like last week we did Conjuring. We talked about the Conjuring and stuff like that.
You know how I feel about that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, so I know how much you love Lauren Warren.
Lorraine Moore. Yeah.
Lorraine Warren.
You know how much, like what I tell you, Jenny, like I tell my people, you want to get famous, write a damn book, write a story.
Yeah. Oh, this is for you, Sean. Remember how I told you I couldn't stand fairies?
Yeah.
I think a fairy is taunting me or doing
What?
something. I was in my yard and I found out, those fairy rings are not rocks. They're like fungi.
They're mushrooms.
They're mushrooms. Well, I
Yeah.
have them all over my yard and they're in a circle. And I was teasing my imaginary fairy. And I said, I'm going to walk over this, I'm going to break your fairy ring.
Bad move.
Well, so now what I'm doing now is that I'm obsessed with making fairy houses in my trees.
That's okay.
And I have like little houses and windows, and it's like a craft thing where I'm making steps for them. And
cool. They love it, man. You got to you have to know. No, what you're doing, Jenny, is great for them.
Mind.
No, you're not. Honest to God. Fairy, make them houses. Make sure you put like sparkly stones out.
I have to see if I have one on my phone real fast. I can show you what
Joe
I did.
Fox says, "Don't miss with the fair folk."
Well, I guess
you don't do it.
I guess
put out milk and honey for him, Jenny.
Wait! I want to show you this fairy house. Look, I'm gonna put it up to the camera. Can you see it? Oops.
Oh my God,
that's
looks
my
great,
tree.
man.
See, that's my tree, and I made there's a little door and a little window. Can you see it?
Yeah, that is cute. That is cute.
So,
now,
losing my mind.
Mr. Wojo says, "Did you walk over or you ate the mushrooms?"
No, I walked over. There's my dog. She's in front of it because she likes to look at it.
No, that's cool.
That's my new thing is I'm gonna make for each little. I have a lot of trees in my yard, so I'm gonna make steps and I'm gonna get this actual fairy house that you can open the door and have like inside that I can put like a little like table for them and like.
Cool. They'll love you to death, man. Here's what you need to do. Don't laugh about it, Jenny. I'm being honest with you.
In my mind.
What you got to do is set up a deer cam and put it right there on that house, and just let it go and see what happens. Or sit on your back porch, and just turn off all the lights and just see all the sparkling lights that will be flying around that house.
Well, I have to show you my other fairy house that I had when I had a secret garden in my yard. I made a secret garden, and I had a house. I had a little fence. I had jewelry hanging for them, and I had little fake like little statues of fairies and gnomes. Yeah, I was a freak. I did like fairies at one time. I don't know why. I guess because I feel like they abandoned me.
No, they have never abandoned you. Oh my God, Jenny, no, they have not ever abandoned you. But Cindy Simpson says fairies are real. That's for sure. And yes, they are for real. No doubt.
Yeah.
Joe Fox says, oh my God, yes, do what Sean says with the deer cam. And it's true. Get a deer cam.
I will.
Set it up and put it right in front, back about 20 yards and just point it right at the house and see what happens at the fairy house. You'll be surprised what you catch.
Before we have to leave, I told you that I think a ghost is in my house.
Yeah, you did.
I think it's my mom for sure. Last night, I'm not kidding you. I heard some things moving on my desk in front of my bed.
Okay.
Desk, and there's nobody in my room but me. The door's shut. My dog doesn't like to sleep in my room at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear this loud bang in my room, and I'm like, what the frick is that? Like, where is it coming? I looked everywhere this morning to see if anything fell. Nothing. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Cindy says, you are not losing your mind. I see fairies this summer.
I see more than
Mr. Wojo said, Sean, you can give Jenny my info.
Yeah,
and I'm more than happy to help her. So, and I'll give you Scotsman's too. I mean, I
Yeah.
have some good people on here. But listen, hon, it is the end of that time, getting close to the
It
witch
was
now.
fun, Sean. It was fun. You have to have me back on. I enjoyed
I
it.
will definitely do that. Any last word, and how could people get a hold of you?
You can just go on Chasing Prophecy Radio. I have the author, Jennie Nicassio, or J.E. Nicassio on Facebook, and you can check out my books on Amazon. And please download that one about the Just Reward. It's only like, I don't even think it costs hardly anything to do. It's like 50 cents or something. But you can read each episode, and they're so short. And then I'll keep posting them. They're called episodes. It's like I don't know. I don't know why they call it episodes, but it's
Oh,
really
Joe,
cool.
it's true, Joe. This hour
It
flew.
did go fast, it did.
It did, and I'll tell you what, Jenny. I thank you again. I will definitely have you on again. And if it was, folks, if it wasn't for her, Jenny, I would not. You would have never known about me. And now look where we're at. God, I love you. God, I love you. But
Alright.
so listen, everybody. Sorry if I sounded pretty bad. I still got that flu, and my ADHD is like really going crazy. So if I don't get back to you, if you sent me a message, please forgive me. I'm trying to work on that. Children, if you can, please, please, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you don't have no parents, and if you have no children, please find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those three words, I love you, go a long, long way. I don't know who's going to be my guest on Tuesday night, but I'll definitely be here on Tuesday. And who knows what's going to happen? That's how I roll. You all know that's how I roll. And on that note, everybody, oh, I got to say it one more time. Carnation, thank you for sponsoring this hour of the show. And I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi, for allowing me to give you these 2 nights. Good night, Joe Fox. Jenny, great to see
Bye,
you. Joe Fox.
everyone. Thank you.
And on that note, everybody, good night, sleep tight, and happy hunting. And we'll see you on Tuesday. There we go. Where we at? There.